a seat, sip some wisdom, and stay a while. This is the Prosperity Lounge, where growth gets personal. Step inside, we're breaking chains.
I'm going to learn this one day and how I'm going to learn this one day and how this works, because I am using a brand new system. There we go. It's not as smooth as StreamYard, but it's a little bit better functionality for me. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Prosperity Lounge, Lounge Talk, live from the lounge. Just hanging out, having a good time this Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. I haven't done this in a little bit, but I wanted to come back on here and kind of finish our conversation we had the other day with Adilynn Walker. Now, if you didn't listen to the full episode, shame on you. Go back, listen to it, watch it. It's on YouTube. It's also on Apple Podcasts. It's on Amazon. It's on Spotify. It's everywhere. And if you listen to it, please go ahead and give us a big old thumbs up, 5-star rating over there. Give us a little review. That'd be amazing. And happy to you guys to listen to that, watch it, and everything else. We had a great conversation on leadership, on mentorship, on pride, fortitude, transparency, and mentorship. All these leadership skills. Amazing stuff. I learned so much. Great takeaway from everything. So definitely get back in there and catch it. But I wanted to bring her back on tonight because we didn't really get a chance to get into the mentorship aspect because we ran short on time. And I was like, you got to come back. So I got her to come back on, gracious enough to come back before she heads out and then gets ready to start her semester here where she's in charge of just about everybody. So I'm excited to talk to her. And if you're new here to the channel, or if you're watching this for the first time, we have the Prosperity Lounge. Welcome. Kind of a laid back area right now. We talk about, this is an area or a space where hope meets freedom, growth gets personal, and our favorite saying at the end of the show is freedom lives where faith and action meet. For those of you that don't know me, and I should have introduced myself a few minutes ago, but I was so excited about our show tonight. I'm Joey Ruffalo. I am a best-selling author and business coach, and I'm pretty much your guide every week to clarity, growth, mindset, helping you break those chains, live a legacy. But I'm just along for the ride. It's bringing you different guests every week. I'm real excited. We had an episode a couple weeks ago about financial freedom and the Declaration of Financial Freedom, which was a fun one to do. You can get our Declaration of Financial Freedom PDF to download and fill out yourself at theprosperitylounge.com/freedom. Put a big old signature on the bottom, put it up on the wall, and do your best to live by it. We also have the Prosperity Lounge community. It's a free community at theprosperitylounge.com. You can sign in there. If you put promo code radio in, you're going to get a 8-step guide to stop living paycheck to paycheck sent directly to your box, your email. But it's a free community space. Get in there and have some fun, have some conversation with people, talk to people, make connections. I jump in there and do stuff. It's a fun little space. Definitely get in there and have some fun with it. We have an app coming soon, so it's going to be even better. We have a prosperity planner, which is our budgeting tool. It's free for 30 days. Give it a shot. It's all like linked to your bank account. It pulls all the stuff out. Goal planning's on there. Send it to me. I'll take a look at it. We have some conversations. And then if you have any questions, you can ask the AI Joey. That's how far I've come. I have an AI me that you can ask questions to. Hopefully it gives better answers than I do. Sometimes. preview of our next couple coming shows. We have our next two shows is we're kind of sticking with the leadership theme this month of July. We have our financial freedom show that started July 4th. And then we had Adilynn on last week talking about leadership. This upcoming week, I have Kent Morrell coming on the show. Kent Morrell. We're going to talk about his journey, his life, his story about his overcoming odds, and I had a great conversation with it. I don't want to spoil it, but definitely listen to that. Kent Morrell is going to come on. If you don't know who he is, you can Google him or just wait till Friday and watch and ask some questions. And then the following week at the end of the month, we have Kim Frazier. Kim Frazier is a county commissioner here in Knox County. She's one of the at-large commissioners. And she is actually, I think, the vice chair this year of the commission. And we're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about community and community growth and small business. So if you have questions regarding small businesses or small business growth or community, send those in. Send those in. We'll talk. No policy talk here on the lounge. You leave that to the other shows. We're just going to have a good time and learn more about the person. What got them off the couch? What got them off the couch to do what they're doing? And what drove them? What drives them today? So that's it for the intro. Let's get Adilynn in here. All right. Here we go. All right. Adilynn, how are you this evening?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much again for coming on and having a conversation with us last week. It was very well received. Very well very well received. Virginia Tech posted the heck out of it. I love that. And we were talking ahead of time. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, you just had a great message, great conversation, great mindset around leadership. And that's why you're in the position you're in, I would imagine. I mean, if you didn't, we'd be worried. So we talked a lot about pride, fortitude, transparency, and mentorship, and how a lot of those things are intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just one. You can't have one without the other to really be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And the mentorship part is where we ended the show with. It was kind of a little bit of like, man, we got to talk more. One of the things you said, and this still sticks with me, is leadership isn't top down. You could be mentored by someone older, younger, right next to you. And I think that's really hard for people nowadays to understand or to embrace, that somebody younger than me could teach me something that I don't already know and be open to receive it. So tell me a little bit about that from your aspect. When you're in a role and you have to mentor somebody who is one right next to you and a peer, how hard that could be. But have you also been in a situation where you've had to mentor or give advice to somebody older than you in a way that they actually listened?
Well, what's interesting about our kind of structure that we work through is we work in triads. So we work with a CO, an XO, and then a diamond, which will be like a first sergeant or sergeant major, some rank like that, which means there's 2 seniors and 1 junior in our case with the Corps. And in that case, being the 1 junior in a triad can sometimes be a little intimidating in the sense that you're looking at 2 seniors that have done this before. And you have to know that you're in that position for a reason. Like if the CO and the XO could just make that decision and just execute that without you being there, then you wouldn't be there. In the sense you have to it can be really intimidating, especially in those situations. But your role serves a purpose in the sense where if your CO tells you to do something, you're going to do it. However, that role has always been described to me as yes, I will do this, but these are the potential consequences of it. So for mentoring something above
Okay.
you, you have to understand like your role and what you're supposed to add in that conversation. So that way you can be like, yes, of course, that's a great idea, but this is the potential consequences, and this is how we could maybe go around those.
Okay. So the position itself, and again, it's going to determine in the core position,
Mhm.
rank, chain of command. In a business, kind of
Exactly.
the same thing. In life, same thing. There's a time and a
Yes.
place, it sounds like, for these conversations to happen. So you're in a position because they want you there. They trust you there where you're at, right? They're trusting you to give another voice
Mhm.
to a decision potentially, but not every decision needs to have another voice
No, it's
mentioned,
kind of
right?
it's
So,
knowing when to speak up when not to, in the sense of even if you're not in like a formal chain of command mindset, like in the business world, you can't just tell your
mhm,
boss no because you don't want to do that or no because you think that's a stupid idea. It's kind of more like we talked a little bit about kind of verbal judo last time, in the sense of
mhm,
presenting
yeah,
your thoughts and ideas in a way that's receptive and productive, because we're at heart like we're humans, and we're animals of ego, and we're animals of social belonging, and we're animals of that want status. So it's understanding your role and how
mm,
you can get your point across in a way that's respectful and in a way that still acknowledges the fact that they do have more experience than you and they do know more than you, but you might just have information that they haven't had a chance to collect.
and then you have to decide in that situation if you think they have the evidence or not,
It's kind of just,
but you still
yeah,
present it
like you're
even
an
if you think they
advisor
might. Okay,
in a sense of like
okay,
maybe you're in a business meeting and you see a conversation going on between two people that are higher in the company than you, but you know some piece of
mhm,
information that like directly contradicts them from having time just on the office floor in the bullpen, like having those conversations and seeing people get that work done. Because maybe they have a conversation like, oh, we can just switch to this program because it works better for this reason and everyone's going to love it and it's going to increase morale. But maybe you know that everyone hates that program and they don't want to do that. So you can be like, yeah, it does have these perks, but also from my point of view and what I've heard from the chatter around the office, this is the other side of that story.
okay, okay. I love that. But again, it kind of goes down to the fact that like I don't want to use a military analogy, of picking your battles,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Because there
If
could be
you
some
say
people that just
no to
every
everything,
little decision, like you said, every little decision, like, well, again, no, decide, and it's just like at some point nothing's going to get done.
exactly. It's like if you say no to every single suggestion, eventually they're going to stop suggesting and just do it.
Yeah, or they're going to stop looking for your advice anymore, right?
Exactly. They're going to be like, oh,
It,
they just want to tell me I'm wrong, or they just want to say something to put their voice in the conversation.
yeah, it gets watered down, and
Mhm.
your opinion doesn't matter as much as when you really speak up and say something.
Yeah. And I think as a leader, especially like as a lower level leader who's having a lot more face to face communication with more people, it's important to do right by them by restraining yourself so that way you can protect them when you need to and you haven't like overextended yourself with your own personal agenda, your own personal wants to the point where you can't protect the people that you're in charge of.
Hmm, interesting.
Like I think it's important to save your voice for when it affects the most people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it certainly does because then it has, like you said, it has the most impact at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They
But
haven't
then
heard it over
on
and
the
over.
other
You
side,
get drowned out from just
yeah,
she's just talking again. Oh, but when you talk, it's like, oh, we really need to listen to what she's saying, or this is important to hear. And there's some grounding in that.
but on the other side, like as the leader that's hearing this disgruntlement and hearing these thoughts about everything, I think it's important to do your best not to shut it out, even though that's sometimes you get busy and you get hard and everything gets stressful. So it's like taking the time to take a deep breath, calm yourself down, and listen to what's going on and decide if that's the best decision or not. Because even if you don't take every piece of advice, or it's not feasible because of other situations or other factors, it's important that they still feel heard, so that way they keep coming. And that way, when it is a big issue or there is something that really affects other people, they're still open to coming to you, because you don't want to shut that off from the leader's perspective as well. Because I think we all know it's frustrating when time and time again you're like, no, this is a bad idea. No, we shouldn't do this. No, we shouldn't do this. Eventually, you're going to get so frustrated you just stop speaking up, which
That's
is
true.
bad for the leader as well.
And then it goes back to the transparency aspect of how much do you share with people with that decision? Because even though you specifically are in this triad of leadership, they're not sharing everything with you.
No.
When they make that decision, and you have to be like, well, they're either making it because of this, or this. And I have to trust that their decision, I can give feedback as to why this, and this, maybe here's the other side of it, but I got to trust the decision because they know more than I do. And then you have to convey that down to other people.
Yes. What I'm learning from the CO side as well is sometimes, although I'm hearing like, yes, but this, in my head, I'm like, I have other reasons of why those things aren't as big of a deal, or I have other things why I can't address those concerns. So it's like knowing the time and place of, do I have the time now to go through and explain, or is that something I'm going to come back and do later? Because at the same time, in that triad level, like as the CEO, I'm still trying to develop my diamond. I'm still trying to develop my XO and mentor them within the triad. So it's like, is this situation a time where we can have a teachable moment and have this discussion and maybe come to a new solution? Or is this a time where we're under stress and we just need to get this done?
Yeah, for sure. So there was a question that came in the chat the other day, and I know we covered the one about starting early and how you get started, even if they're later in life. Now forgive me because I don't remember all the questions. Shit, I should have reviewed it. But there was one about, and this came in from Leah from San Francisco. How has your view of leadership changed since your first year in the Corps?
It has changed a ridiculous amount. I can't even.
Okay.
I think my first year, it was a lot about thinking kind of about competency of like, oh, well, they're so good at this, and I want to be like them because they're so good at that thing. Whereas now, as I've grown, especially through my junior year, I was like, wow, they're a really amazing teacher. And I think it's amazing how they can, like when I'm looking at people I aspire to be, at first it was like, they're great at that thing. And then I was looking at, they're really good at teaching that thing. And they're so good at it that they can express it in words and in smaller movements to explain it. And from now, what I've looked at, like my current goals is to be widespread to the point where I know where all my resources are and I know where strengths are. So although like I will never be the best at every job and I'll never be proficient at every single skill and proficient at every single small thing that needs to be done to run the Corps. Like I can't tell you how to shoot the skipper cannon for a football game, but I know who does know how to shoot the cannon and can get that done. And I don't know, I can't personally supply uniforms to everyone so we all look right on the parade field, but I know someone who can, and I know that resource. So I think it's come from it's a lot different in that sense.
So take me then to, you talk about being resourceful and being a good leader. Now, is there a difference between just someone who's resourceful or someone who's resourceful and a good leader?
I think we talked a little bit last time about motivation, because I think the leadership side of being resourceful is like knowing who and where to ask.
Yeah.
But just because you ask doesn't mean it's going to get done, and doesn't mean it's going to get done well. So I think the leadership component of that comes in is that communication of having that relationship and having the ability to explain how your interests align and making sure that one, they're taken care of as a person and taken care of with their needs to operate so that they can perform well. And then also being the type of person that they want to work for. I think the quote by Eisenhower is leadership is getting people to do what you want them to do because they want to do it.
That's powerful.
Yeah. So I think the resourceful side is knowing who to talk to and knowing who has those strengths. And then leadership is empowering them to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm taken aback by that one. That's oof. Okay. Rachel had asked here, you mentioned the importance of peer leadership. How do you build respect among equals?
Probably the hardest form of leadership you can go through is peer leadership. And I think you build that by being honest, which a lot of that is knowing your own values and developing your own values as a person, as opposed to trying to pull values from what you think they want to hear. And I think that's how you build the respect side, because as humans, like, we want to belong. Obviously, we're social creatures, and that's a lot of it. So a lot of times we'll get wrapped up in the sense of, okay, this is what I say because it's going to resonate with people and they're going to like me and I'm going to fit in with this group. And then I think when you get so used to that, that kind of gets lost in it. And I think what you said about build respect among peers is really big. And I think a big way to build respect among peers is to be consistent in your values and be consistent in your actions.
Consistency. Okay. And I guess consistency in your values, but it's really determining on what those values are. Because if you don't value certain things, but you consistently don't value those things, you're consistent.
Well, like, you can say all day, like, I can talk all day about how, like, I value these things, and I can talk all day about that. But, like, my peers are the ones that see me every single day, and my peers are the ones that are seeing if I embody that or if I don't embody that. And if I'm not being true to myself on what I talk about, then I'm not going to embody those things, and my peers are not going to respect that.
It's like in my world, if I'm spouting out about not using credit, you're not going to use credit. Nobody's using credit cards, and I go to a place and I drop an Amex Gold card down on the table. Mm-hmm. I'm not consistent.
Exactly. And then your friends are like, oh,
okay. Look at that, like, hey, you're telling people not to use this. Why are you using it? Well, I'm different.
And then it's like, well, what else is he lying?
Yeah, what else? Exactly. What else are you getting into? And then it opens the door to question you, question your motives and your leadership and what you're doing.
Exactly. And that's really challenging, especially for younger people coming to the business world and within the core, because we're all college students. Like, we're trying to figure ourselves out. We're trying to figure out who we are standing alone outside of our parents' home and outside of our high school sports team. So it gets challenging in that consistency, because sometimes, like, year to year, I've changed a lot since freshman year, and you change a lot in your 20s. So I think that's hard on the younger level to figure out as well. Maintain that consistency.
For sure. And one of the things with mentorship too is, I'd mentioned a lady who had come on the show talking about going into a coffee shop. She wanted to open a coffee shop and just talking to the owner and saying, hey, how do I do this? And he sat down with her and kind of gave her a bit of a blueprint. That, while that seems like that should be something that occurs, I also felt that, like, it was an anomaly that it occurred, because too many people nowadays don't want to give up their secrets and help people. And so people are just left floundering. But mentorship really does begin. It begins from that part, but you talked about, you may come across somebody that needs it, and you may be the one needing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the one that needs it, or you're the one that has it to give, what are your suggestions for people to like make that connection, or what can people do to seek it out or provide it?
I was thinking about this earlier today, actually, but every situation that you're in technically has an opportunity for mentorship because when you're in a situation and you're like, oh, I'm good at this thing, like I know what I'm doing, I don't need help, I know what's up, it's good, I don't need help from anyone, then that's your opportunity to be like, oh, well, why am I not helping someone do this? Like, if I'm so good at it, like, why do I need to be the one doing this? So why would I not have someone else come and have someone else do this while I mentor them? Or the other side, when you're kind of in over your head and you're like, I don't really know what's going on, I need help, that's when you can seek mentorship. But I think it's important to have those people also that even if they know what they're doing and they're kind of self-sufficient, it's important that they're reaching down as well.
Hmm.
But it can be scary to
Okay.
know where to look as well for mentorship.
Yeah, a lot of people sometimes, I've seen it where I kind of go back to the coffee shop thing. I mean, they were in a different city, so it wasn't a
Yeah.
direct, but some people might be like, you're my competition. You're going to put me out of business. I'm not going to tell you anything. I'm going to tell you the stuff that maybe will help put you out of business.
Yeah.
But then that goes back to people's values and the consistency part of it. They're consistently bad in their values.
It can also
So,
be scary too when you're like wanting to help someone learn because we learn most of what we have through our own failures. So
mhm,
sometimes like teaching someone or telling someone how you got what you got is a lot of coming to terms with how you failed on your way there, which can be scary as well. And having
yeah.
to tell someone that's younger than you and is aspiring to be like you, like, yeah, I am here, but I messed up a lot wrong along the way.
Yeah, it's if people who do that, I always love talking to them, and I used to have an older a podcast before that was kind of the goal was to get people in and have them explain, this is where I messed up. This is the path where I messed up. So don't go down that path. Start here where I started making success. Now, some people will say you need those mess ups in life, those failures to build your character and to kind of give you that fortitude to move forward. But if I could save myself 2, 3, 4 years of just heartache and messing up to get to where I want to be, because you already walked that journey for me, please tell me what I need to do, and I'll be forever grateful.
It's like, I promise we'll find our own heartache along the way. There's no sense in
Yeah,
like, even if I
yeah,
tell you exactly what not to do, I promise you'll still find
you will
some,
still find it.
we'll find it.
It sounds like
Your
a country
character
song.
will.
It's definitely a country song somewhere, Adilynn, in that lyric. Um, Now, I don't want to keep you too long, so we'll probably wrap up shortly here. One thing I didn't get to cover with you is what is coming next for you? What's your plans after graduation?
So my plans after graduation will be commissioning in the military. And then I don't exactly know where I'm going yet, and I'll find
Hmm.
out shortly this year. So it's kind of through the ROTC programs throughout your senior year, you find out what job you're going to get. And then in the fall semester, so I'll find out about October what I'll be doing. And then in the spring, I'll find out where I'm going.
Okay. So
So,
take me through that process because I'm not familiar with that. When I talked to my dad, who was in the army, he enlisted in Vietnam, so he just went right in, boom, bottom barrel, bottom of the rung. Slowly get up the ladder a little bit, but never, whatever. But somebody who's commissioned. So where does that start you? And then what is your potential? Because I know each branch has different terminologies.
mhm,
So, so you
so,
are Navy.
yeah,
Okay, good. I got that right. So Admiral is Admiral your high end?
it is.
Okay, not General. Admiral. Okay, so where does that take you? Where do you start in the rung, and then commissioning, what is your obligation coming out
So
of college?
we start as an ensign or an O1,
Okay.
which is similar for all the branches. Everyone starts at O1. They call it different things, but it's essentially bottom of the barrel officer. You show up, they know. Everyone knows you don't know anything. And then it depends. So for the Navy, there are 5 options, which you can go surface warfare, submarine warfare, naval flight officer, pilot, or Navy SEAL. So there's different options you
Okay.
commission into, and then which we'll find out in the fall. And it's just similar for Army and Air Force. Air Force actually already found out theirs, but throughout next semester, all the seniors will figure out what job they selected. So we submit dream sheets of this is what I would like to do. And then the military comes back and says, okay, well, this is what we need you to do. And you say, okay, great, awesome. And then in the spring, you say, well, this is where I'd like to go with the job you gave me. And they say, well, this is where we need you to go with the job we gave you. And you say, okay, great. And then we commission in May. And depending on what you select, for example, all pilots will go to about 2 years of training, and everyone else will go anywhere from 6 to 9, maybe a year of training in their job, and then they'll go to their first station.
Okay. So it's not something like you put down, hey, I want to be a pilot in San Diego, and they go, nah, you're going to be a deck person in Alaska.
They
Oh,
might.
thank you. I'll take it.
You might say, I want to be a pilot in San Diego. And they're like, you're going to a submarine in Georgia. So
Yeah. Submarine in Georgia. Better, I guess it's better than submarines in like the Mississippi River or like Great Lakes, where it's like, what do we got going on here?
we do submit a dream sheet, and they do their absolute best to get us within our top 3 for Navy, like top 5 for Army, depending.
Yeah.
They do their best to get based on like what you're qualified for, based on you submit a whole package with your GPA and your extracurriculars. But also the cool part about the Corps is we're so different structured. Like all the seniors have different jobs. Some of the seniors have no jobs, and they're just chilling as squad members within the company. But we're all going to commission as O1s.
Okay.
So it's really a key there is to like it's really important that we're mentoring everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about this within like our leaders at our schools. No matter whether they buy in and they excel in this program or not, there's still going to be an officer in the military, and there's still going to be an officer in the military from Virginia Tech. So it's up to us to maintain that image and make sure that every person we graduate has the opportunity to lead and has the opportunity to learn.
I love that. Now I'm gonna put you on the spot here. You just said something about everybody in the squad. Some people are they're just chilling. They're just doing their roles as a squad member.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have taken leadership skills or roles. Some people have taken advanced stuff like yourself. Now, let's say you put in that dream seat, that dream board to them, and you're like, hey, I want to be on a base in San Diego, and you're the leader, and someone who's just been flying under the radar is like, yep, same for me, and they get it and you don't. What kind of leadership, transparency, fortitude, pride goes into looking at that and go, man, I guess they got better plans for me than they do him.
I think that's kind of owning like it's hard because you got to look at the overall package. At that point, you're like, okay, well, they probably had a better GPA than me because of these reasons, and this is what I could do in the future to kind of reprioritize that stuff. Or maybe they had a better test score than I did, and that's what kind of led to this. But at the end of the day, it's also it's a really complicated system from what's been explained to us, where unfortunately it's not 1 through 1,000, and then you pick like this person's getting the number 1, this person's getting the number 1. There's tons of formulas and stuff that we can talk about to make ourselves feel better about not getting our number 1. But
so it's not like the submarine commander, or the naval commander, the Air Force guy, or the pilot guy, or whatever, are sitting around and doing like a NBA draft of like players. Like, first pick, I got Adilynn Walker. Yes, we're good to go. I got over here. It's just
they call it like talent dispersal because they don't want all of like the top 50 midshipmen to go in the same community, and then the bottom 50
so start spreading it out. Gotcha. And then bottom will go here.
Exactly. So they try to split it up as best they can to try to like meet the needs of the branches. So
Okay. And then obviously in this situation, you also be matriculated with the seniors at Texas A&M
yes,
that are also there. So there's going to be some some
they're
some
very
ribbing
ranked,
and some rivalry.
which on
Okay,
the
so that
same hand is we have a lot more responsibility at Tech and there's a lot more leadership opportunity as opposed to a traditional RC unit that's not at a senior military college. So all they do is they go to PT and they go to one class and they go to a lab every week. Whereas with Virginia Tech, we are at formation every morning. We are doing different programs. You have an entire freshman year of training.
Mhm.
And there's like all the jobs that we have and all the leadership roles we take on, they take time, which obviously I think it's worth it. And obviously I think that it will help you be successful. But sometimes that means that you might not be as diversified if you have a bigger job because you have to prioritize.
Sure, makes sense. Okay, so getting out, commission, going in the Corps. What's your plans for that? Is just what's your commitment look like? You have to do X amount of years, or like how's it look?
So traditionally, it'll be about 5 years,
5 years. Okay.
and then pilots and people with additional training have more.
Okay. Right. And I guess let me circle back real quick to the conversation I was trying to have some fun ribbing with was somebody else below you gets the spot you want.
Mhm.
How can you talked about finding the purpose in that decision? There's a greater, well, maybe they had better this or that, but maybe just the Corps itself or the military itself needs me in another spot. Like you
Mhm.
said, matriculating certain people in certain spots. You don't want to keep everybody who's top notch over here. How can somebody in business right now, somebody who is, going for a promotion, let's say, and they don't get it, it goes to somebody else. How can they walk away from, or what advice would you give them if they walk away from that decision to keep their head up and realize like, that doesn't mean I have to quit the job I'm at, the company I'm at because they don't value it, but maybe there's a reason why, and I need to either work harder or I need to prove that they made the wrong decision.
I mean, I think there's kind of both of that is accepting the cards you were dealt, as in, okay, I didn't get this, and then kind of like having some radical candor with yourself of what are potential reasons why, and being honest with yourself. But like sometimes it's your fault, it is your fault, and sometimes it's not your fault, and you kind of have to. It could be a multitude of things, but handling the cards you were dealt in the best way that you can. Where maybe you didn't get that promotion, but you still have a great job. So I'm just gonna do the job I have the best I can. But there's
Mhm.
also, I think we talked about it on the other show about creating opportunities for yourself and creating opportunities to stick out in a positive light. Where we talked about this a lot with fortitude, where maybe you're not in a position, maybe you didn't get the promotion, maybe you're not the person that they're going to be like, oh, we need someone to run this project. I'm going to pick this person. Obviously, like if you're not getting picked for projects, create your own project and then
Yeah,
create it so you're stand alone on that. And that can kind of put your name on the board in that sense, where you didn't need that promotion to excel in that job. And
that's
something
true.
actually, something I learned from my crew team elections. Actually, one of my teammates asked someone who's applying to be president, and she said, "What is one thing that you want to do in this position that you absolutely cannot do if you don't get this position?" And I think that's really powerful. I That took me aback for a second. I really
Yeah.
had to think about it. Of dang, like what am I doing that I think I need the position for that I don't?
Yeah. Someone's popular. No, I love that
That's
because
really
that
powerful,
is a really powerful question.
right?
Never thought of that before. What is something that you can do in this? All right, I want to hear it one more time because I'm definitely going to put this up as a quote.
What is something you want to do in this position that you absolutely cannot do if you don't get this position?
Wow. Okay.
Which there are very few things that apply to that, honestly.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can't. That's one of those ones. If you think about it quickly, then
Mhm.
you've thought about it a long time. Most of us are like, let me get back to you on that one.
Exactly. Which, in the sense of, we go back to that mentoring from below, where even if you don't get that position, if you were in the running for that, or you think you
Mhm.
are worthy of that, there's probably a reason why, and you probably have some value to add by helping that person or providing your thoughts and commentary to that person.
Wow. Talk about mentoring from below. I mean, I've learned so much in our conversation last week and this week so far that it's it's helped it's helped me kind of shape a few things differently and look at a few things differently. And I appreciate the transparency and the mentorship that goes along with it, and the pride you have in your work, and the fortitude you have to bring it forward. See, I used all four there, and it's been great. I've learned a lot, and it's been amazing to um, to get to know you and to talk to you some more on this stuff and learn more about who you are. I know your parents somewhat well. They've done a fantastic job. Um, you can pat yourself on the back because I know your dad will just take all the credit, but it's probably mostly your mom in that regard. But yeah, they're fantastic. Nothing but great things. Always beam in when they talk about you, um, and the work that they did to. I talked to your mom today, um, and I was just like, oh my god, she was amazing. And you're 20, so most 20-year-olds are just not the same breadth of knowledge and confidence, and whether that's the core or whether that's just you or a combination. And they told me about how it would just expose you to different things and have you make your own decision on whether or not you want to proceed with that, and just going to Toastmasters and talking and having conversations with people and winning table awards and stuff like that at such a young age, and having that confidence to just talk and be in front of people. It's just we're in good shape for our future with people like you leading the next generation. Like I really, really am confident that I could sit back and retire soon and you guys will take care of me. So I thank you again for coming on. Um, any last parting words of wisdom that we could take away from this?
I will say, I cannot say enough like how much my experiences within the Corps have helped me, and how these experiences have shaped me in the way. And I'd say, just if you're looking for like where to start, especially young people in high school and college and coming out, just step out of your comfort zone, do something, do something cool, do something that scares you. Because I can say, going to the Corps and showing up for New Cadet Week was scary, and freshman year was scary, but it turns out okay. And um, made mistakes along the way, and that's okay too. But just do something that scares you, and do something that challenges you, and do something you'll grow from. Because I cannot recommend enough this program.
I love that. I just put up on the screen right above your head the QR code to take you to the Virginia Tech Corps Cadets website. So people can scan that, and you can screenshot it and click on it too as well. That'll take you to the Virginia Tech Corps Cadets website. Right on the front page is the 2025 New Cadet Guide. Classes are starting August 15th. Wow, it's going to be a month already before you have to go back. It's going to be pretty soon.
Yes.
All the information on there about how to get involved, their event calendar, everything. So there's probably some opportunities, and you could maybe speak to this real quickly under the event calendar. If I am just someone who's like, I'm interested in this, I don't know what it's about, is there opportunities to visit the campus, see what it's about, see formation, like kind of like experience cadet life, like a traditional college tour would be? Or is there just, hey, here's some information. Now you're here, deal with it.
Kind of, we offer both things. So obviously, you can come do a university tour through Virginia Tech, but they don't go onto the Corps side of camp. They don't go on up. We call it upper quad. They don't really go in our area like that. So we do offer Corps Cadet specific tours. So you
Okay.
can sign up through the Virginia Tech Corps Cadets websites through that QR code to kind of get a tour through that, as well as we've really been growing our recruiting programs in the past several years. We actually do what's called a spend the night program. So
Oh, fun.
college, anywhere from like a sophomore to a senior in high school who's interested can actually come on campus. You're assigned a cadet that's usually a freshman or a sophomore, and you get a cot in their room and you get to stay with them overnight and walk around, meet people, talk to people, see what it actually is to be in the Corps, because it's unique and it's a unique day-to-day experience. So you
Wow.
actually get to do that. You get to be in formation. You get to go to all their organizations. But also, if you just happen to find yourself in Blacksburg, we'll be at formation every morning at 7:20. Flag goes up at 7:30, and anyone's welcome to join.
I love that. I love that. Now, one thing you may or may not know. So we talked about joining the program, and one of the questions we had was last week on the show was if it's too late to get started in high school. Absolutely not. If I am in college and I've done 2 years and I want to transfer in, is there an opportunity to transfer in to the program, or do you have to start as a freshman?
So we can kind of shift it. So if you only have 2 semesters of college left, for example, you would do 1 semester as a freshman, 1 semester as a sophomore, 1 semester as a junior, and 1 semester as a senior.
Okay.
And we have early turns, is what we call them. So you only do like half a semester as a senior. They're completely eligible to hold any position that they're qualified for. We've had XOs as early turns. We've had commanders as early turns. That really doesn't limit you. If you have the potential to do it and you want to do it, you totally can. So they will work with you, and the recruiting office works really closely to help if you have only 3 years of college left or 2 years. I believe you do have to have at least 2 years. You can't
Okay.
really get the experience in one.
Yeah, most colleges with the transfer is usually 2. So you do have the opportunity if you're in college
Yes.
and it's just not working out for you and you need some extra direction and you want to do something different with your life, you still have the opportunity to get involved in the Corps and go to Virginia
And
Tech.
I
And
do want to as well say is the Corps doesn't mean you're going to commission. So we have an entire group of civilian leaders. So they are in the Corps. They do all the same requirements, their formation, but they do not intend to commission after they graduate. And so instead, when we're learning military tactics and things that we need to commission, they're learning interview skills and they're learning how to build a resume. They're learning how to network, how LinkedIn works. And they're actually, the Corps alumni system is very strong in the sense that they're able to help you find jobs and internships and how to explore those opportunities. And there's really strong connections within the DoD and 3-letter agencies as well. There are Corps alumni in those positions that are looking for new Corps alumni to bring into those positions.
so the opportunities are widespread. It's not just
Yes.
active duty. You can be,
Yes.
civilian roles inside the agencies with clearances and everything else if you wanted to. But you're learning the leadership skills. You're learning patience. You're learning skills. You're learning things you don't necessarily have right now or want to learn more of. And it works for everybody. I love that. You may or may not know this answer, so I'm putting you on the spot again. Is there an age limit to applying?
I do not believe there is in the ROTCs, but if you're not like any commission, I don't believe there's an age limit for the Corps.
Okay.
And there's also, they can work with family planning. So if you're looking at getting married soon or already are married, like there's options for you as well to make that work, because the goal is to make the Corps accessible to everyone, who wants to serve and wants to learn leadership in that sense. So whatever your family situation is. And there's also looking, because a huge draw to the ROTCs is the financial factor of you can be offered a scholarship. So we're looking at opportunities to alleviate the financial burden from other cadets. So once again, our alumni network is incredible in the sense that they were working really hard to provide scholarships to cadets for as much as they can, so that just to limit that financial burden on cadets so they can focus on learning and leading. And then we're also expanding. We're a flagship school for something called DCTC, or Defense Contracting Training Corps, which is similar to the ROTC program, but it's attached to the DoD.
Okay.
So we're experimenting with that, and we're experimenting
Fun.
with more opportunities as well.
I love it. I love it. And then with the alumni network you guys have, another opportunity for people is kind of reach out to people in that network through LinkedIn. Look for people that have the, Virginia Tech Corps Cadet listed in their profiles. Find them online. Connect with them before you go. Ask them questions.
Yes.
Talk to them, because I bet you they're going to mentor you. That's that. At least they should. But that's some great stuff. Thank you so much again for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to do this again. Check up with you around holiday time. You were telling me beforehand your commission part right now, or your role, is a semester role.
Yes.
And so we'll check in with you after you're done, see how it all went, see how the transition went to the new person. Hopefully it goes smooth. I know it will on your end. And then see if your views have changed since you've been in the position. I love it.
I'm sure I will learn a lot this semester.
Learn a lot, and we need to hear it, because we need to learn some more too. And I think that, what you're learning there is really important in life and in the community and in small business, and just like I said, the community in general. Learning these core elements that you're talking about is help us really go far. So thank you again. If you'd like to join the Prosperity Lounge and hear some more great conversation, I'm going to throw up my little QR code here, and I'll put that above me. There we go. That takes you to the website, prosperitylounge.com. Click on that. You get in there, join the lounge, join the community, get some free access, some free stuff. It's going to be some great things going on. We've got some fun stuff planned throughout the rest of the year. If you feel compelled from this and you want to support the show, there's a couple ways to support the show. One is just like and subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, like some videos. The closer we get to 500,000 subscribers, that helps with the algorithm. That helps us get monetized. That helps us get some ad spend in here to help us grow the show some more. So that's the easiest, freest thing you can do, is that. Like us on the podcast networks. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a 5-star. Give us some stuff there. Heck, even just play the episode on mute and put your phone down so we get the stream time and everything. That'll really be helpful. And if you feel really compelled, there's some links in the description that we have affiliate links for, some of the tools that we use. And you can always support the show with our Buy Me a Coffee. I love coffee. As little as $1, you could buy me a coffee. Anything helps. But if you really want to support the show, and I'll shout you out. I'll shout you out on the live show. I'll shout you out on the podcast. Shout you out on the live stream. If you really feel compelled for that. But anyway, that'll be here. You can screenshot that, take that away. There we go. Adilynn, thank you so much again. We did another hour. It was fantastic.
It's easy as fantastic. Stuff you love.
I know. And it's you were like I'm just a sponge when it comes to the stuff you're spewing out. So I love it. So thank you again. And
thank you so much.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you all Friday, 5:55 p.m. Eastern time, for the next episode of the Prosperity Lounge Radio Show this week, featuring Kent Morrell. It's going to be a great one. Hear about his journey. He was in a major accident, and he had debilitating pain for about 19 years, and then woke up one day pain-free. And has been pain-free ever since, and living every day like it's the fullest extent he can live it to. And I definitely want everybody to hear his story. It's going to be a good one. Until then, everybody, stay faithful, stay fearless, and remember, freedom lives where faith and action meet. The lounge is always open. So is your next breakthrough. This is the Prosperity Lounge.
This is where momentum meets the sun.